football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll stretch out only about a yard up to the 32.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Michael Dana in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive, that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3-and-out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Henry again on 2nd down. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they started some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. On 3rd down, Henry. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. 2 yards is the pickup, and the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, That's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. Go quickly.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Ravens are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And out come the Chiefs now. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at about the 32. A quick throw caught by Rice. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Being chased out left. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with the ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top row. I like it. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will wrangle him down a couple couple yards shy of the 30. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage, good for the receptions for the receivers, but you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces, so as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, it'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Got him in, it's Brown. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here's 3rd and 3. Here's Mahomes to throw. That is caught. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it, and were able to keep the drive moving.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 14.
So here's a 3rd and 14. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Well, if you're a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Ravens will take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jackson. Looking left side and has got a man. That's Flowers. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rally to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Play action. Now Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Seven, our score after one. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They keep it with Henry on first down. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Still a couple of yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up the 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Jackson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They go play action now. Jackson.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Third and goal, Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
On fourth down, on is Tyler Luke for the Baltimore field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. KC's offense ready to take over. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
On first down, they go back to Pacheco.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
54 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
Scampering home from 19 yards out.
And the Chiefs have moved out in front.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Quick strike out wide by Jackson.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Henry.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He's going to have a Ravens first down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line. A toss left, Henry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. From midfield now, here's Jackson.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Jackson from the shotgun.
A check down here for Henry.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Stout to punt as he boots this one away.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. but still a little short. 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And a short pickup to about the 25.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Jackson now. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Jackson's going to try the sneak.
And he will have a Ravens 1st down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Off tackle left with Henry. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the 1st half.
A short throw caught by Andrews.
Jackson's pass complete to Andrews. It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
Throwing is Jackson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. A short throw caught by Andrews. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. This will wind up a loss on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today.
And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Now it's Jackson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
83 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down at 7.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rice. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
From the gun, it's Mahomes.
He'll drop this off to Pacheco.
So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to have a third down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Mahomes now to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Chiefs first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
And he sidestepped one man, but reinforcements come to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Got him in, it's Brown. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Mahomes now on the sneak.
And he will have the Chiefs first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
With his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Butker on for the PAT. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
That's the score. Chiefs 21, Ravens 13.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23.
He'll start with a give to Henry.
Powers by at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
105 yards on the ground now for Henry. He's got a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run it again with Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. But he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
That's 20 and carry now for Derrick Henry. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Jackson. That is caught. And he will have the Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
They go play action with Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Jackson to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens are back within a couple of the lead. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go.
And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. Here's Mahomes to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now here's Mahomes.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Mahomes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
That's good for the Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Mahomes going to throw.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. Now he's loose again.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
56 yards. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And the Ravens taking the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last time. Let's see what happens here.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now.
Jackson now.
And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
From the gun on third down, Jackson.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one.
Now Remigio.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant, keep throwing it around. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
With some extra bulk on that line for 3rd and inches.
Mahomes takes it himself.
And he will have the Chiefs first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They go play fake. Mahomes. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throw left side, completion to Rice. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
And Xavier Worthy
55 yards.
And the Chiefs use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now Jackson.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jackson will keep it.
And he will have a Ravens first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd. Powers through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Now it's Jackson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely to pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now it's Jackson.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 23-yard run.
And the Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that come.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he returns this to the 22.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field.
Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Adafe Owe so quick, and he gets to him there behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And this is caught. It's Brown.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple-option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rice. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard. A quick throw here out to Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Here's Pacheco headed right.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
The big man, Nnamdi Madubuike, there on the tackle.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I see the surprise on your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers, 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out here with the option left. A strong running. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
3rd and 12.
From the gun, Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Ravens first down. And that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give them a new set of downs.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
To throw is Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The tight end in motion right. Play action. It's Jackson.
On the move past the 40.
And he gets this one down to the 24. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Throw caught by Flowers.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
all that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Throwing is Jackson.
This will go to Henry out wide. And he will have a Ravens first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
first down carry for Henry. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Check down here for Henry.
That was well defended, and while his completion resulted in a loss of yardage, it's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Jackson. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again.
And they're going to drop it well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help him a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Mahomes.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Mahomes to throw.
They'll check this one down to Pacheco. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles.